Hello, I am Dr. Sawan Didi, JIT Arts, Science and Commerce College for Women, Malegaon District, Nasik. Today's topic is on the floods. So the contents which have been taken, those are introduction, causes, effects, flood prone areas, flood management scope, and last one, that is a conclusion. So first of all, we should know that what is flood. So introduction: floods is overflow of excess water that submerges land and inflow of tide into lands. So generally floods are considered to be associated with rivers, and people conceive floods as the outcome of accumulation of huge volume of water coming out of the rivers through overtopping of river banks during peak discharge period. It is also important to note that floods are also aggravated by human activity, and thus flood hazard is both natural as well as man induced, rather man accentuated phenomenon. Floods are very often associated with alluvial rivers draining extensive alluvial and flood plains. The most noted rivers of the world in terms of devastating property are the Ganga and its major tributaries such as the Yamuna, the Raganga, the Gomti, the Ghagra, the Gandak, the Kosi, and the Damodar, etc. The Brahmaputra, the deltaic segments of the Mahanadi, the Krishna, the Godavari, the Tapi, the Narmada, the Luni, the Mahi, etc. As occurs, all this occurs when the geomorphic equilibrium in the river system is disturbed because of intrinsic threshold and extrinsic threshold. As a meaning of the floods, a flood is an overflow of water that submerges land, which is usually dry. The European Union Floods Directive defines a flood as a covering by water of land not normally covered by water. In the sense of flowing water, the water may also be applied to the inflow of the tide. And when origins of the flood, when origin, the origin of flood is explained below. The natural factors which cause river floods important are prolonged high intensity rainfall, meandering courses of the rivers, extensive flood plains, break in slope in the long profiles of the rivers. So again, the natural floods which are occurred due to the heavy rains, melting of ice during volcano eruption, undersea earthquake, marine landslip. So these are the natural floods. Next one, that is man-made floods, which are occurred due causes of the flood are bank erosion, breach of dam, barrage, embankments. So, the anthropogenic activities such as building activity and eventual urbanization, channel manipulation through diversion of its course, construction of bridges, barrages, and reservoirs, agricultural practices which are being done by the human actions, deforestation which is being going on truly, land use changes. So now as far as concerned to the population, the land which is used in a huge in number. Next one, the naturally as we have seen that heavy rainfall. So when heavy rainfall occurs for long period in continuation in the root cause of river floods, because immense volume of water either through high intensity rainfall or large scale snow melt is the prerequisite condition for river floods. Heavy spell of rainfall in arid and semi arid areas where the rainfall is scant, low, and infrequent cause flash floods because such areas have poor natural drainage system and existing rivers and streams are unable to accommodate enormous volume of water caused due to huge volume of runoff resulting from high intensity rainfall during occasional rainstorms. So as we have seen that the streams and the rivers from upland towards the lowland, the flow of the water from the rivers, which is in rainy season mostly when rainfall occurs more at such regions, the rainfall due to heavy rainfall, the floods actions which have been seen. So highly sinuous and meandering courses of the river obstruct the normal discharge of water and thus the velocity is reduced, which delays the passage of water, resulting into stagnation of water. Next, as about the forest, which is also a natural vegetation and largely in a large scale deforestation in the upper catchment in is perhaps the most important anthropogenic factor of the causes of the river floods. Large scale deforestation effected by the man for various purposes decreases infiltration capacity of the cut over land and consequently increases surface runoff, which helps tremendously in increasing the magnitude of floods. So, the rainwater resulting from torrential rainfall is quickly disposed of through the city storm drains to nearby streams, and thus the volume of river water is increased, causing floods. So, as in these slides, uh, the effects which are seen, and those effects are as primary, secondary, and tertiary. In primary, due to direct contact of flood water, which is a physical damage. After that, the secondary, due to result of primary effect, disruption of essential services, and in tertiary, due to combined effect of primary and secondary effect, long term effects which are seen. So, as a while studying to the types of floods, some would like to see the causes of floods as types of floods. But on this page, we shall look at three major flood types. Which are those flood types? Those are: number one is a flash floods, rapid onset floods, and slow onset floods. What is by flash floods? This kind occurs within a very short time, 2 to 6 hours, and sometimes within a minute also, and is usually it as a result of heavy rain, dam break, or snow melt. Sometimes intense rainfall from slow moving thunderstorms can cause it. Flash floods are the most destructive and can be fatal as people are usually taken by surprise. So, in this, there is usually no warning, no preparation, and the impact can be very swift and devastating. Next one, that is ice jam flooding. In cold temperature, bodies of water are often frozen. Heavy precipitation can cause chunks of ice to push together and create a dam in what is known as ice jam flooding. Behind the dam, water begins to pile up, spilling over to the plain nearby. Eventually, the walls of ice breaks and fast moving water rushes downstream, much like a conventional flash floods, destroying objects in its path. The water carries huge chunks of ice which can increase damage to surrounding structures. So, again, rapid floods are there, slow floods are there, coastal floods are there, and while observing to these causes of floods, floods are caused by natural, ecological, or anthropogenic factors, either individually or as a combined result. The various causes of floods in India are as follows. As we have seen that heavy rain, many of the things which are seen. So the first is the rain. Each time there are more rains than the drainage system can take, there can be floods. Sometimes there is heavy rain for a very short period that results in floods. In other times there may be a light rain for many days and weeks and can also result in floods. Next one, that is a river overflow. A river can overflow their banks to cause floodings. This happens when there is more water upstream than usual, and as it flows downstream to the adjacent low lying areas, there is a burst and water gets into the land. After that, strong winds in coastal areas. Sea water can be carried by massive winds and hurricanes onto dry coastal lands and cause floodings. Sometimes this is made worse if the winds carry rain dams. Sometimes water from the sea resulting from a tsunami can flow inland to cause damage. After that, what happens when floods are when floods are occurred? Dam breaking. Dams are main man-made blocks mounted to hold water flowing down from a highland. The power in the water is used to to generate electricity. Sometimes too much water held up in the dam can cause it to break and overflow the area. Excess water can also be intentionally released from the dam to prevent it from breaking, and that can be cause floods. So as we have seen that ice and snow melts, meandering also is one of the tendency to meander to change the course. After that, the cyclones, tropical cyclones accompanied by strong winds, high tidal bores causing the inundation of coastal regions, floods due to cyclones. Floods due to cyclones are common in the east coast of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and West Bengal. So, in this chart, we will see that how much percent of the flood prone areas in India which are seen. Number 1, that is Uttar Pradesh, 21.90%. Bihar is having 12.71%. Assam is having 9.40%. West Bengal, which is having 7.91%. Orissa is having 4.18%. So other states are also there which are having 43.9%. So floods which are been seen in India at various places. So as obstructions are there, inadequate drainage arrangements are seen. Yeah, due to the earthquakes and landslides, such natural disasters change the river course and consequently cause the floods. Again, the deforestation, as we had seen, that causes the acceleration of runoff and lowering of infiltration, as a deforestation of hill slopes leads to great runoff and raises the water level in rivers, as in India, Western Ghats, Shivaliks, and Chota Nagpur Plateau region. So, as a cloud sometimes it bursts, so cloud burst leads to high amount of rainfall within a short time, leading to flash floods. So, flash flood generally occur in Himalayan regions, and mainly now we will see the effects which occurs. Those floods can have devastating consequences and can have effect on the economy and environment and people. First of all, we will see the economical effects which are occur due to these floods. During floods, roads, bridges, farms, houses, automobiles are destroyed. People become homeless. Additionally, the government deploys firemen, police, and other emergency apparatuses to help the affected areas. All this comes at a heavy cost to people and the government. It is usually takes years for affected communities to be rebuilt, and businesses to come back to normally. Second one, that is environmental effect. The environment can also suffers when floods happen. Chemicals and other hazardous substances end up in the water and eventually contaminate the water bodies that floods end up. In 2011, a huge tsunami hit Japan and seawater flooded a part of the coastline. The flooding caused massive leakage in nuclear plants and has since caused high radiation in that area. Authorities in Japan fear that Fukushima radiation levels are 18 times higher than even though. Additionally, flooding causes kills animals and others insects are introduced to affect areas, distorting the natural balance of the ecosystem. Next effect which is seen that is the third effect, peoples and animals. Many peoples and animals have died in flash floods. Many more are injured and other made homeless. Water supply and electricity are disrupted and people struggle and suffer as a result. In addition to this, flooding brings a lot of diseases and infections, including military fever, pneumonic plague, dermatopathia, and dysentery. Sometimes insects and snakes make their way to the areas and cause a lot of havoc. So prevention can be taken. For this, humans cannot stop the rains from falling or stop falling surface water from bursting its banks. These are natural events, but we can do something to prevent them from having great impact. So, as a sea and coastal defense, sea walls and tide gates have been built in some places to prevent tidal waves from pushing the water up offshore. In some areas, too, sandbags are made and placed in strategic areas to retain floodwaters. Somewhere as retaining walls. In some places, retaining walls, levees, lakes, dams, reservoirs, or retention ponds have been constructed to hold extra water during times of flooding. As a about the town planning, it is important that builders acquire permission before building are erected. This will ensure that those waterways are not blocked. Also, drainage system must be covered and kept free from objects and choke them. This way, water can quickly run through if it rains and minimize. And any chance of town flooding, drainage system should also be covered to prevent litter from getting into them. Next one that is vegetation. Trees, shrubs, and grass helps protect the land from erosion by moving water. People in low lying areas must be encouraged to use a lot of vegetation to help break the power of moving flood water and also help reduce erosion. Next one that is education. In many developing countries, drainage systems are choked with litter and people have little knowledge of the effects that can have during a rain. When it rains, waterways and culverts are blocked by massive chunks of litter and debris and water finds its way into the streets and into people's homes. Education is therefore very important to inform and caution people on the dangers of floods, what causes floods, and what can be done to minimize its impact. So, in 1994, a flood which came in Mumbai, and many of the houses were under the water. So, as far as on the nalas, which are on the nalas, houses are built, buildings are built, and due to this, people uh, were suffered during this period. So precaution should be taken, detention should be taken. So uh, for this management, aims of flood management, protection of people and property should be done. Reduction of flood risk should be protected. Monitoring, research, forecasting, and warning should be given during these incidents when floods come. So we can protect this such type of accidents during this period. So conclusion, although flood is the most deadliest disaster still, but it has some benefits like recharges groundwater, Freshwater floods help in maintaining floodplain ecosystem, boost in food production for birds, and last one, that is facilitation of weather fish to new habitat. So lastly, I want to give you a suggestion that water everywhere but not a drop to drink. That is of course until this lovely chief sings. Thank you very much.